Well, I got some bad news. There are still some terrible stocks out there to own, and unfortunately, these are retail favorites, and we actually have 4 new entrants into this list this month that I'm not sure I've ever talked about before, and boy, are they just complete disasters, and I really hope you don't own them. This is usually one of the more controversial videos that I do, so make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth about a bunch of different stocks that I don't like them, and they just fall completely on the side of don't buy these stocks. At least like the video if you like the honesty. And if you want information on retiring early and achieving financial freedom, make sure you check out the pinned comment down there. That's all we talk about on that channel. That's my new channel down there. It's really growing, and I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe over there as well if you want that sort of content. All right, so we all have bad stock picks, guys. You guys know that. I have bad stock picks. Warren Buffett has bad stock picks, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form comparing myself to him. He's the greatest of all time. But we all, the point being, and the point I'm trying to make, is we all have bad stock picks. So don't let this discourage you. If you happen to see one of these stocks, hey, maybe we just disagree and maybe I'm wrong on these stocks. That could be completely feasible too. But I just don't want you to be down about it. Just understand we all do it. We all make mistakes. And hey, it's just a part of investing. You're going to have bad stock picks. And if you don't have any bad stock picks, you're probably not picking stocks or you haven't been investing for any length of time. So understand this is just all part of the journey and there's no judgment here. There's no nothing else like that. So let's get into the list here. And of course, I know a few of you guys are going to go wild down in the comments. Hey, let me know. That's okay with me. That's what this is for us to engage on these topics. But stock number 1 is Plug Power. I'm sure most of you guys know this stock has been a complete disaster, but I didn't like it even back in 2021 when it was at its peak at like 65 bucks or something like that. I didn't like the business model back then, much less the valuation. Valuation was a whole different deal. That was just part of the hype run. But in terms of the business model, I didn't like it because the margins just weren't there. They were pitiful margins back then. And obviously, things haven't gotten much better over the years, despite the fact we really need exactly what they provide. But obviously, they just can't figure it out from a business perspective. That shows you, even if there's great demand there, if you don't have the business model right and you don't understand how to run that business effectively, it doesn't matter what the market is for your products. And now they're looking at having to dilute everybody a lot further in order to just keep operations going. And that's just a disaster, especially when you're at all-time lows. That just, it kills any sort of company out there. What you want to be is doing the exact opposite and raising money with stock is at an all-time high. That's when you want to be doing it. So that way you don't have to dilute shareholders a lot in order to bring in that capital in order to continue to grow the business. And hopefully you're growing the business, not the opposite, just trying to keep the lights on. So this is just a bad scenario all the way around. And I want nothing to do with Plug Power. So stock number 2 is Mullen. Now guys, I've seen some conversation about this in the comment section of my videos, and don't be fooled by the reverse stock split. This stock, I don't care. Somebody was saying that, they didn't understand why Mullen was trading higher than a different stock in terms of stock price. 1, that's totally irrelevant. What matters is market cap, not the price of the stock. But 2, they did a reverse split, which basically means it is down 99.9% from its all-time high. And just kind of for reference there, what a reverse split kind of does to your stock price. Go back to the time frame. Right now it's trading, I don't know, 10 bucks, whatever the heck it was. I can't remember now right off the top of my head. But at its peak, when you kind of take into account the reverse split, it was trading for $9,500 per share. So that kind of gives you some context there as to, are you really getting a great price when you're coming all the way down from $9,500 per share? That's what a reverse split does. Don't fall for that, guys. There is nothing there with this company. They are just trying to keep the lights on. Actually, I don't even know what they're trying to do outside of keep the lights on. That's about it for me. This is pure speculation. I don't think there's anything there. And to me, this is one I'm staying far, far away from. So stock number 3 is Canoe. Now guys, I know it was part of the EV hype, but I couldn't figure this one out from the start as to why it ran. I had no idea what the heck was going on there. I was getting asked about it all the time. I had no idea. I couldn't even tell you what it was. I think it's a reasonable product. I don't think the product is necessarily bad, but they were at least a decade too early with this product in terms of use case, at least here in the US. Just too early to everything there. And it's just the US is not ready for a product like this. And more importantly, they can't get the business model right. They keep changing the business model. They keep changing a lot of different things with the company. They just can't seem to get the business nailed down in the first place. And that means you shouldn't have gone public in the first place. That's the first thing with this company. And 2, that's a problem sign even for, when you're an angel investor, you're just looking to invest in startups. Nobody really likes to invest in startups like that. So maybe it was just a product of the complete hype cycle and there's just the ridiculousness that was that time frame. I have no idea. But I know for me, it's one that I'm going to stay far, far away from because they haven't figured out the business model yet, much less how to make money long term. Again, maybe there's something great there. I can see potential with the product, even though I think it's way too early for the product. but you are basically purely speculating at this stage, and that's just not something I want to engage in. So as you guys can see, it's been new stock after new stock after new stock, and let's talk about another new stock, and that would be Spirit Airlines. Now look, I personally never been a fan of the airlines anyways. I understand Buffett was a fan. He bought airlines, sold at a loss, obviously. A little bit too early there, missed kind of the big run that they got, kind of post shutdown and everything else like that. But I've just never been a fan. It's debt laden. It's, highly restrictive. It's obviously regulated to the hilt. It has a lot of business problems with the airline industry in general. Just not something I ever really wanted to be a part of. I think there's better places for me to put my money. But then you add in the fact that it's a struggling airline, and then they had a failed merger there with JetBlue, which JetBlue was significantly overpaying for it in the first place. That's the only reason why that stock price was propped up as much as it was. And that just makes for a disaster as a shareholder. Where's the bottom? I don't know. Really, really hard to tell there. So for me, one I want to stay far away from as possible. All right, so on to the last two here, and if those first four didn't rile you up, these two are definitely going to rile up some of you guys in the comments with some disagreements. So hey, let's go. It's time. I'm ready. Here we are. Let's talk about stock number 5, and that would be Lucid. Look, I know I'm not trying to beat them up. The product actually looks great, but they just aren't executing on a high level at all. Really, they just can't get out of the doldrums of trying to scale out in the first place. And obviously, with everything else going on, it's just hard. You're trying to sell a high-end vehicle, six-figure type vehicle, in an economy with 6, 7, 8% interest rates. It's really, really, really tough to do that in that sort of environment, especially when you're trying to prove to people, hey, come buy EVs. Not everybody's sold on EVs. Obviously, most people aren't actually sold on EVs to begin with, at least here in the States wide, they're not sold. And you can order a high-end Tesla or a high-end Porsche, EV as well, both of which, kind of carry a little bit more cachet than a Lucid does at this stage. So a lot of your buyers, I think, are going other directions to kind of try EVs before they look at a Lucid. Again, maybe if money was different, maybe if the economy was just through the roof and interest rates were low to where people could afford to take that chance on a Lucid, maybe it's a little bit different, but they are having problems scaling. They are having problems executing. And that's part of a startup. That's part of what happens with a startup. So for me, this is one I didn't like from the start. Just thought, hey, this is a lot more, one, overpriced, overhyped, and two, man, executing is hard and it's going to take time. And especially in that segment, that's a tough segment to break into as well without any sort of plan to scale down from there. So scaling is difficult. And right now it's all proven out. I'm sorry. I don't want any part of somebody trying to prove that they can do something when the reality is that they did not have the Saudi backers. They would be bankrupt right now. And obviously, if those Saudi backers ever pull their backing, Lucid shareholders are in a lot of trouble quickly. So too many investment opportunities out there I want to take advantage of instead. And on to the final stock here. And you guys know it's the most fun one here to have on this channel. So let's talk about it. The stock would be AMC. Have the apes given up yet? I mean, you guys tell me down in the comment section. I don't know. I don't keep track of it. I don't watch YouTube hardly at all. So I have no idea outside of my comment section as to whether or not they're still believing the $100,000 per share is coming and all the other ridiculous narratives, the ultimate squeeze and all this other craziness like that. I don't know. So you guys let me know, is that narrative still out there? All I know is I don't want any part of this stock. Management continues to just be one of the worst management teams out there. Sure, they do things that get the apes all excited, but I don't care about getting the apes excited. I care about execution and what the company is doing as a business. What are you guys adding to net income? What are you guys adding to the bottom line? What are you guys doing to grow the business? And moves like, all the crazy stock stuff that they did, and obviously buying gold mines and other ridiculous stuff like that has done absolutely nothing to help you guys as shareholders out there that own it. So again, I don't know what's going on. I just know I'm not falling for any of the narratives that are going out there. I don't care if it goes on a run and it runs up to, it doubles up or triples up. It's coming right back down. Well, given its low price, it's probably pretty easy to double up or triple up. Maybe there's a trade there. I have no idea. I just know as a long-term buy and hold investor, I want nothing to do with a stock like this. But if you want to see exactly what stocks I am buying and my complete watch list, complete with price targets, you want to take 5 courses for free, use our stock analyzer tool for free, be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord out there, make sure you check out the pinned comment down there for my group where we have so much stuff going on, so many new things coming into the group this year that I'm just so excited about it, guys. I can't wait. Check out the pinned comment, see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market, and click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.